I can only speak for myself. I feel like I'm carrying on that legacy, and it's on autopilot. It's a part of me. I don't know how to be any different. I've raised my children with that legacy. I've raised my children with trying to be the best they can be, reaching beyond their grasp to be the best they can be. I've not pushed them to do something that they don't want to do, but I've always tried to inspire in them that how important it is to feel something, feel passion, and to, when you do something, to do it with your heart and kind of like just let go and put everything you have into it. And, you know, sometimes with kids it's, you know, oh, Dad, do we have to hear this again? Well, yes. Guess what? We do. And we keep hearing it. And day in, day out, every day I email them. I try to inspire them. I try to give them a different perspective to look at things. I talk about adversity. I talk about, you know, looking at things in a different way, being thankful for what we have. You know, sometimes we take things for granted. You know, we think, oh, well, this is a problem or that's a problem. You know, we have so much to be thankful for, you know. And so in many ways, that thing, the legacy is on autopilot. I don't know how to be any different. I just don't. I think it was, he had sound fundamentals and principles that he taught, and he wove it in between all his players. Each of his players, it was important to him. I mean, I don't think I realized it until I left, and when he said I'd recruit you again. When I thought he didn't know I wasn't showing up for to weigh in, he certainly knew. He built a real solid foundation, and he carefully constructed the first floor and the second floor and put the roof on, and he believed it and he stuck to it. He stuck to it. I think in the back in I think in 2001-2, when Penn State went through some losing seasons, I know there was a lot of pressure for Coach to resign, and part of me thought, well, you know, maybe it is time for him to retire. But boy, did he come back. Boy, did he just shut everybody up, and it was just unbelievable. It was so exciting. He still had that fire in his belly. He still had that passion, and he wasn't just saying words. He believed what he was saying. It came from the bottom of his heart, from the depths of his soul, and it was. And I don't know if it's about buying into it. I think we just, you know, it just became a part of us. It just, you know, they were good, sound things that he was teaching us, and he wanted us to go out into the world. I felt that he wanted us to go out in the world and do something with our lives and make a difference in the world. And when I look around and I see and I meet all these other guys from different decades, we did. We really did. That's exciting. I'm not sure how many football programs, if any, can say that. Not sure. Actually, I brought up a letter that Coach Paterno wrote to me in 1986, and my wife and I had been trying to have children for about 10 years and did everything, and we were ready to throw the towel in. And we'd been through in vitro fertilization, which that was at that point in time relatively new. And talk about psychologically hard. It was, you know, and how it makes you feel. You know, you look at your friends and your family, and when are you going to have children? You know, it's like one person asked me that, I'm going to knock them in the head. And we were ready to throw the towel in. I says, no. I says, let's do one more. And April 1st, which is April Fool's Day, 1986, we found out that my wife was going to have triplets. And it was unbelievable. And I wrote him a letter, and I thanked him. And I told him this time I didn't quit. This time I stuck it out, and this time I won. And I got 3 beautiful kids. My son who works with me is 25 years old. My daughter Jessica, who's full of spirit and enthusiasm. And I didn't think this was going to happen, so forgive me. And my daughter Nicole, who's in her 2nd year of graduate school at University of Duke University in environmental science. And I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I've been knocked down so many times, it isn't even funny. And I keep getting back up. I'm like a dog that gets wet. I just keep shaking, and I keep shaking, and I just won't let anything bother me. It's just... And I owe a lot to Coach Paterno, and that's why I'm here. My senior year, I walked away. I did not play. And one of the things I remember more than anything, I sat down and talked to him, and the compassion of the man was just incredible. He looked at me and he said, "Joe," he says, "if I had to recruit you all over again, I would." And it just blew me away. It blew me away. It just took me a lot of years to figure it out, but it gave me the Penn State football. What it did, it set the bar up here. It instilled in us a desire to be better, to do the best that we can. He always used to talk about reaching beyond the grasp to be the best you can be. And that never left me. It was with me. I could not go away from it. Mediocrity wasn't a part of what we were doing. I couldn't in the workforce. It pursued my career. I know, to Capoletti's surprise, I became a certified public accountant. I became a certified financial planner, and he laughed. But that's okay. But I needed to be the best I could be. And I really feel that my experience at Penn State was the impetus that really motivated me and said I could do better. He saw in me what I couldn't see in me. He knew what a wild young man I was that needed some discipline and needed to be put in line and brought in. He knew I needed to be called on, and he did it. And when he wrote me in 1986, when he wrote me back, he said, "Sometimes I don't know, but in this case, it made me feel good that I was right." But he did the right thing in my case, and sometimes the way things work out in life, you don't realize it at the time. You like look at the situation and you look at it in a real narrow perspective, and I can take a step back now and say, God, this was all preparing me for where I am today. And I couldn't run my company, I couldn't help my clients in business, I couldn't do the things that I do without that discipline, without that training. The passion. It's, when I got there on campus, I can remember being recruited, and I think the film was Pride and Poise. I was like, wow, this is great. Pride and Poise. Coming off 2 back-to-back undefeated seasons, 68 and 69. Steve Spear, who's one of my heroes, is going to be here later on. Mike Reed. It was like a storybook, and he wanted us to have an education. It was important. You just wanted to do better. You wanted to do better. You just didn't want to go through the motions and kind of be just like everybody else. It's like, I don't know if we realized it at the time, but I certainly, I can look back at it now and say, gee, the grand experiment, it worked. Yeah, it really worked.